This is Radhika. I'm going to give a video lecture on AC machines. Subject code 18E403C. So this is the second chapter, test on single phase transformers. So in this today we are going to discuss about practical transformer with winding reactance, phasor diagrams and problems on equivalent resistance and reactance. So in last class we discussed about ideal transformer to different loads and transferring resistance from one side to another side, and also we discussed about ideal transformer transferring resistance from one side to another side. So actually what is ideal transformer? So, an ideal transformer is one that has no winding resistance, no leakage flux, and has no copper and iron losses. In other words, an ideal transformer consists of two purely inductive coils wound on a loss free core. In practice, it is impossible to get an ideal transformer, but practical transformers have properties that approach very close to an ideal transformer. So we can consider an ideal transformer on no load whose secondary is open. When an alternating voltage V1 is applied to the primary, an alternating current flows in the primary. Since the primary winding is purely inductive and the secondary is open circuit, the primary draws a small magnetizing current I mu, which lags behind the applied voltage by 90 degrees. The purpose of this current is to magnetize the core and hence produces an alternating flux pi, which is proportional to and in phase with it. This alternating flux links both the primary and the secondary windings and produces primary EMF, that is self-induced EMF E1 in primary, and the secondary mutual induced EMF E2 in the secondary. The self-induced EMF E1 is at every instant equal to and in opposition to V1, and hence is known as back EMF or counter EMF. The secondary EMF mutual induced EMF E2 is antiphase with V1. Both EMFs E1 and E2 lag behind flux by an angle of 90 degrees. However, the magnitudes of E1 and E2 are proportional to the rate of change of flux and the number of turns on primary and secondary. The vectors of an ideal transformer on no load, since flux pi is common to both primary and secondary, it has been taken as the reference vector. The primary and secondary EMFs E1 and E2 are in phase with each other and are lag behind the flux by 90 degrees. The magnitude of E1 is equal to V1 but is 180 degrees out of phase with it. So this is the ideal transformer, and transferring resistance from one side to another side. So in transformer with winding resistance, in ideal transformer there is no resistance in windings, but in an actual transformer there there is always present sometimes sometimes some resistance in the primary and secondary windings. The primary has a resistance of R1 ohms called primary resistance, and secondary has a secondary resistance of R2 ohms called secondary resistance. So the resistance causes copper losses and voltage drop in their windings. The resistance causes uh, 2E primary equation and secondary equation, that is V2 is equal to E2 minus I2 R2, and also minus E1 is equal to V1 minus I1 R1. So already we discussed this one. So next is we go for transferred reactance and impedance from one side to another side. So in this the magnetic leakage, in case of an ideal transformer, it was assumed that the flux pi produced by the primary winding links with both the primary and the secondary windings, but in an actual transformer, a part of the flux produced by the primary winding does not link with the secondary winding. Similarly, a part of the flux produced by the secondary winding does not link with the primary windings. A part of primary flux pi L1 not links with the secondary winding and a part of secondary flux pi L2 not linking with the primary winding. The two fluxes pi L1 and pi L2 leaks out of the core and do not link both windings. Hence, these fluxes are known as leakage fluxes. Hence, pi L1 is known as primary leakage flux and pi L2 is known as secondary leakage flux. On completion of this period, we would be able to understand that real transformer with magnetic leakage reactance and transferring reactance from one side of transformer to the other side and equivalent impedance of a transformer referred to either side. So in the phasor diagrams of a real transformer for various load power factors, and uh, we solve some problems on finding equivalent resistance or reactance or impedance of a transformer. So in practical transformers, the factors need to be considered. The ideal transformers is not a sufficiently accurate model for all purpose. A better model should include in winding resistances, leakage fluxes, effects of limited magnetic permeability of the core material, core losses, and stray capacitance due to the electrical coupling between windings significant at a high frequency. So it is the leakage flux. So leakage flux is the primary leakage flux pi L1 and secondary leakage flux pi L2. In pi L1, the flux which links the primary alone and does not link with the secondary is known as primary leakage flux pi L1. So this flux is produced by the primary ampere turns I1 N1 only, therefore it is proportional to the primary current I1 and number of primary turns in 1. In secondary leakage flux pi L2, the flux which links the secondary alone and not links with the primary is known as secondary leakage flux pi L2. So in this, the flux is produced by the secondary ampere turns, therefore it is proportional to the secondary current I2 and number of secondary turns N2. At no load, the primary current is small and secondary current is 0. Hence, the primary and secondary ampere turns are small. Therefore, leakage fluxes are negligible. But when load is increased, both primary and secondary windings carry huge currents. These currents increases corresponding ampere turns, which increases leakage fluxes. So in, in leakage flux, the ideal transformer model assumes that all flux generated by the primary winding links all the turns of every winding, including itself. So in practice, some flux traverse paths that take it outside the windings. So not all of the flux produced by the primary current links the winding, but there is leakage of some flux into air surrounding the primary. Similarly, similarly, not all of the produces by the secondary current or load current links the secondary. Rather, there is loss of flux due to leakage. These effects are modeled as leakage reactance in the equivalent circuit representation. Such flux is termed leakage flux and manifests itself as self-inductance in series with the mutually coupled transformer windings. So this is the diagram of magnetic leakage of the transformer. The effect of leakage reactance in primary and secondary windings. The leakage flux linking with each winding produces a self-induced EMF in that winding. Hence, the effect of leakage flux is equivalent to a small inductive coil in series with each winding. The reactance of this inductive coil is known as leakage reactance. In other words, a transformer with magnetic leakage is equivalent to an ideal transformer with inductive coils connected in series with each winding. The leakage reactance of primary and secondary windings are X1 and X2. The leakage fluxes induce self-induced EMFs in their windings, which opposes the flow of current in their respective windings. Therefore, the primary reactance can be obtaining by dividing the self-induced EMF by the primary current, and the secondary reactance can be obtained by dividing the self-induced EMF by the secondary current. So the primary leakage reactance X1 is equal to EL1 by I1 and X2 is equal to EL2 by I2. The primary voltage V1 will have to supply the reactive drop I1 X1 and in addition to I1 R1. Similarly, induced EMF E2 will have to supply reactive drop I2 X2 in addition to I2 R2. So in this uh, leakage results in energy being alternatively stored in and discharged from the magnetic fields with each cycle of the power supply. It is not itself directly a source of power loss, but results in poorer voltage regulation, causing the secondary voltage to fail to the directly proportional to the primary. Particularly under heavy load, distribution transformers are therefore normally designed to have very low leakage inductance. So in this diagram, it has the in primary side has the X1, V1, I1 and N1. So in secondary side has the N2, I2 and X2, V2. So these are practical transformer with the winding leakage reactances. The equivalent leakage reactance. So in this figure, the transformer with the leakage reactance and in primary and secondary winding respectively, similar to that of the resistance, the leakage reactance of one winding can be transferred to the other winding by using the factor k square. K is called the transformation ratio, and this means that both the reactants can be transferred to either primary or secondary, which helps in finding equivalent reactants on either side. The advantage of transferring the reactances to one side that it makes calculations simple and easy, because then we have to work in one winding only. So in this it is referred to primary. So here in this writing the KVL equations for the primary and secondary loops, we have primary induced EMF E1 is equal to V1 minus JI1 X1, and similarly secondary induced EMF E2, vector forms of E2 is equal to vector form of V2 plus J of I2 and X2. So reactance transfer. Looking into the circuit from source side, let us define the impedance as X in is equal to V1 by I1. Looking into the circuit from load side, neglecting the load itself, let us define the impedance as XL is equal to V2 by I2, relating V1 by I1 in terms of V by I using the turns ratio. A V1 by I1 is equal to A square V2 by I2, that is equal to X in is equal to A square XL. Hence, in general, any impedance transferred from secondary side to primary side must be multiplied by the square of the turns ratio A square. So, the leakage reactance of a secondary referred to primary, that x2 dash is equal to x2 by k square. The total leakage reactance referred to the primary, that is x01 is equal to x1 plus x2 dash. Similarly, the leakage reactance of primary referred to secondary, x1 dash is equal to x1, that is equal to k square into 1. So the total leakage reactance referred to secondary x02 is equal to x2 plus x1 dash. So in this referred to the primary, when secondary leakage reactance is transferred to the primary side, it is divided by k square, then it is known as equivalent secondary reactances referred to primary and is denoted by x2 dash. Equivalent secondary reactance referred to primary, x2 dash is equal to x2 by k square. When the secondary reactance is transferred to primary side, then the secondary has no reactance. So the leakage reactance x1 plus x2 dash is equal to x1 plus x2 by k square is known as the equivalent or effective reactance of the transformer referred to primary, is denoted by x01. So leakage reactance is referred to primary. So that is x01 is equal to x1 plus x2 dash, that is equal to x1 plus x2 by k square. So in this circuit in primary side, whereas the reactance of x01 that will be equal to x1 plus x2 dash. So that is x2 dash is equal to x2 by k square in primary side. It is referred to secondary when primary leakage reactance x1 is transferred to the secondary. It is multiplied by k square, then it is known as equivalent secondary reactance referred to secondary and is denoted by x1 dash. When primary leakage reactance x1 is referred to the secondary, it is multiplied by k square, then it is known as equivalent secondary reactance referred to secondary and is denoted by x1 dash. So equivalent primary leakage reactance referred to secondary x1 dash is equal to k square x1. When the primary reactance is transferred to secondary side, then the primary has no reactance as shown. The leakage reactance x2 plus x1 dash, that is equal to x2 plus k square x1, is known as the equivalent on or effective reactance of the transformer referred to secondary and is denoted by x02. So the equivalent leakage reactance referred to secondary, that is equal to x02 is equal to x2 plus x1 dash, that is equal to x2 plus k square x1. So here we can conclude that to transfer primary leakage reactance to secondary side, multiply it with k square, that is equal to k x1 dash is equal to k square x1, and to transfer secondary leakage reactance to primary side, divide it with k square, that is equal to x2 dash is equal to x2 by k square. So transformer with resistance and leakage reactance. So here so in this transformer with the resistance and leakage reactance, in this diagram, so in this diagram, in primary and secondary, it has the in primary z1 that is equal to r1 plus jx1, and at secondary side, that is the z2 is equal to r2 plus jx2. So in this transformer having primary and secondary windings with resistances r1 and r2 and reactances x1 and x2 respectively, the impedance of primary winding is given by z1 is equal to r1 plus jx1, that is magnitude of z1 is equal to under root of r1 square plus x1 square. Phase angle pi 1 is equal to tan inverse of x1 by r1. So similarly, the impedance of secondary winding is given by z2 is equal to r2 plus jx2, magnitude of z2 is equal to under root of z2 r2 square plus x2 square. Phase angle of pi 2 is equal to tan inverse of x2 by r2. The resistance and leakage reactance causes voltage drop in their winding. The resistance R1 causes a resistive drop of I1R1, and reactance X1 causes a reactive drop of I1X1 in primary winding. Similarly, the resistance R2 causes a resistive drop of I2R2, and reactance X2 causes a reactive drop of I2X2 in secondary winding. So here in this Z1 is equal to R1 plus JX1. Magnitude of Z1 is equal to under root of R1 square plus X1 square. Phase angle of pi 1 is equal to tan inverse of X1 and R1. Similarly, the impedance of secondary winding is given by Z2 is equal to R2 plus JX2. Magnitude of Z2 is equal to under root of R2 square plus X2 square. So phase angle pi 2 is equal to tan inverse of X2 by R2. So the resistance and the leakage reactance causes voltage drop in their winding. The resistance R1 causes a resistive drop of I1 R1 and the reactance X1 causes a reactive drop of I1 X1 in primary winding. Similarly, the resistance R2 causes the resistive drop of I2 R2 and the reactance X2 causes a reactive drop of I2 X2 in secondary winding. So in this, by adding I1 R1 and X1 I1 X1 drop to E1, we get V1, and by adding and I2 R2 and I2 R2 and I2 X2 drop to V2. So in primary V1 is equal to E1 plus I1 into R1 plus JX1, that is equal to E1 plus I1 Z1. In secondary EMF, E2 is equal to V2 plus I2 into R2 plus JX2, that is V2 plus I2 Z2. So in this in this diagram, we have the in primary side Z1 is equal to R1 plus JX1. In secondary side, Z2 is equal to R1 plus JX2. This is the resistance and leakage reactance of primary and secondary. So in this, the impedance of the primary winding is Z1 is equal to R1 plus JX1. Similarly, impedance of the secondary winding is Z2 is equal to R2 plus JX2. Therefore, the voltage drop in the primary winding is due to its resistance and leakage reactance. Hence, V1 is equal to E1 plus I1 into R1 plus JX1. So, V1 vector of V1 is equal to vector of E1 plus vector of I1 into vector of Z1. Similarly, in the secondary winding, we have E2 is equal to V2 plus I2 into R2 plus JX2. So vector form of V2 is equal to vector of VE2 minus I2 Z2. The total resistance referred to primary R01 is equal to R1 plus R2 dash. So total reactance referred to primary X01 is equal to X1 plus X2 dash, that is equal to X2 dash is equal to X2 by K square. Total impedance referred to primary or Z01 is equal to Z1 plus Z2. So that is equal to Z01 is equal to R01 plus JX01. Total resistance referred to secondary R02 is equal to R1 dash plus R2, where R1 dash is equal to K square R1. Total reactance referred to secondary, where X02 is equal to X1 dash plus X2. Here X1 dash is equal to K square X1. So total impedance referred to primary Z02 is equal to Z1 dash plus Z2, that is equal to Z02 is equal to R02 plus JX02. So here in phasor diagrams of practical transformer, as the phasor diagrams are representations of equations of both current and voltage, the equations representing transformers are given as vector of I naught is equal to vector of I w plus I mu, means no load current is equal to working component plus magnetizing component, that is equal to I1 is equal to I naught plus I2 dash, and also V1 is equal to E1 plus I1 Z1, where Z1 is equal to R1 plus JX1. Z1 is equal to R1 plus JX1. So here V2 is equal to E2 minus I2 Z2, where Z2 is equal to R2 plus JX2, and I2 is equal to KI2. I2 dash is equal to KI2. The induced EMF C1 and E2 are 90 degrees lagging to the mutual flux of pi m. So here, while drawing phasor diagrams, the vectors for resistive drops IR are drawn parallel to current vector, and the reactive drops Ix are perpendicular to the current vectors as per the vector equations of primary winding and secondary windings. So in this is the phasor diagram for resistive load. So in this same as resistive load, so here also in reactance the flux is reference in x-axis. The flux will be common in primary side and secondary side. The flux in x-axis is takes as the reference, and in y-axis minus E1 and upward E1 is the upwards, and E2 V2 is in downwards of y-axis. So here I naught is the no load current, and I2 dash is the second, it is the secondary referred to primary side, and the resultant current is I1. So in this V1 is equal to E1 plus I1 into R1 plus JX1. So that is equal to minus E1 is equal to I1 R1. So the I1 R1 will be parallel with the I1 and the I1 X1 will be perpendicular with I1 R1. So that is, it is the resultant of V1. So here in secondary side the E2 will be I2 and R2. The I2 and R2 will be parallel to I2, and the I2 dash will be in opposite direction to I2, and I2 X2 is perpendicular to I2 and R2. So this is the phasor diagram for resistive load, and also same as phasor diagram for inductive load, phasor diagram of inductive load. So here also the reference mean in x-axis is flux pi, and it has also no load current I naught, and I2 dash, it is the secondary current referred to primary, and the resultant is I1 current, and the I2 current will be in opposition direction to I2 dash. So in a primary side the minus E1 is equal to I1 R1. The I1 R1 is parallel to I1, and I1 X1 is perpendicular to I1 R1. So finally that equivalent to is equal to V1 is equal to minus E1 plus I1 R1 plus I1 X1. In secondary side the I2 and V2 has the angle of pi 2, and V1 I1 of the angle of pi theta 1. So in secondary side also E2 is equal to V2 plus I2 R2 and I2 plus X2. So I2 R2 is parallel to I2 and I2 X2 is perpendicular with the I2 and R2. So this is the phasor diagram for inductive load, and also the phasor diagram for capacitive load. So this is the leading. In this also same, the magnetic flux is as a reference line, and in x-axis supports is minus E1 and downwards E2. So in this also the no load current I0 and I2 dash is a secondary current referred to primary, and the resultant is I1. So the angle of theta 1 makes between V1 and I1. So here the no load angle theta naught will be make between uh, minus E to I naught, and here also the equation minus E1 is equal to I1 plus I1 R1 plus I1 X1 plus V1. So here also the I1 R1 is parallel with I1, and I1 X1 is perpendicular with I1 R1. In secondary also the I2 dash is opposite direction to I2, and E2 is equal to V2 plus I2 R2 plus I2 X2. So in this also I2 R2 is parallel to I2, and I2 X2 is perpendicular to I2 R2. So this is the phasor diagram for capacitive load. So in this the vector diagram for a transformer having winding with resistance and reactance for pure resistive load, that is for unity power factor, and inductive for lagging power factor, and capacitive for leading power factors. So in these vector diagrams, vectors for resistive drop are drawn parallel to current vectors, whereas reactive drops are perpendicular to current vectors. So the equivalent impedance, it shows the transformers having primary and secondary windings with resistance R1 and R2, and leakage reactance X1 and X2 respectively. So the impedance of one winding can be transferred to the other winding using transformation ratio K to make the calculations simple and easy. The transformer having primary and secondary windings with resistance R1 and R2 and leakage reactance X1 and X2 respectively. The impedance of one winding can be transferred to the other winding using transformation ratio K to make the calculation simple and easy. So in this referred to primary, the secondary impedance can be referred to the primary side as equivalent resistance of transformer referred to primary R0 1 is equal to R1 plus R2 dash, that is equal to R1 plus R2 by K square. In this equivalent reactance of transformer referred to primary, X01 is equal to X1 plus X2 dash, that is equal to X1 plus X2 by K square. Equivalent impedance of transformer referred to primary, Z01 is equal to under root of R01 square plus X01 square. When the secondary impedance is transferred to primary side, then the secondary side has no impedance. So in this referred to secondary side, the primary impedance can be transferred to the secondary side. We know that equivalent resistance of a transformer referred to secondary. So R02 is equal to R2 plus R1 dash, that is equal to R2 plus K square R1, equivalent reactance of a transformer referred to the secondary, and X02 is equal to X2 plus X1 dash, that is equal to x2 plus k square x1. Equivalent impedance of transformer referred to secondary. So Z02 is equal to under root of R02 square plus X02 square. When the primary impedance is referred to secondary side, then the primary side has no impedance. In primary side there is no impedance. So the following a few points are noted from the above phasor diagrams. In case of resistive load, the terminal voltage is less than the induced EMF and it falls with increase in load or secondary current. In case of inductive load, RL load, the terminal voltage is less than the induced EMF. In this case, the fall in terminal voltage is more. In case of capacitive load, RC load, the terminal voltage is more than the induced EMF. So in this we have one example problem. In this, a 230 by 460 volt single phase transformer has a primary resistance of 0.2 ohm and a leakage reactance of 0.5 ohm, and the corresponding values for the secondary are 0.75 ohm and 1.8 ohm respectively. Find the secondary terminal voltage when supplying 10 ampere at 0.8 power factor lagging. So in this we can find out the secondary terminal voltage. So in this problem they given R1 is equal to 0.2 ohm and X1 is equal to 0.5 ohm, R2 is equal to 0.75 ohm and X2 is equal to 1.8 ohm. So cos pi 2 is equal to 0.8 lag, k is equal to E2 by E1, that is equal to 460 by 230, that will be, we will get 2. So required data V2 is how much? So the solution is, so in this pi 2 is equal to cos inverse of 0.8, that is equal to 36.86 degrees. So I2 is equal to 10 angle of minus 36.86 degrees ampere. So we know that the equivalent resistance referred to secondary R02 is equal to R2 plus K square R1. So that is equal to R02 is equal to 0.75 plus 4 into 0.2. So after calculation we will get R02 is equal to 1.55 ohms. And the equivalent reactance referred to secondary X02 is equal to X2 plus K square X1. X0 is equal to 1.8, that is equal plus 4 into 0.5, that is equal to 3.8. So these equations already we discussed, and the total impedance referred to secondary Z02 is equal to 1.55 plus J of 3.8. After calculation of this one, we will get 4.1 angle of 67.8 degrees ohm. And the secondary terminal voltage V2 is equal to E2 minus I2 Z2. So here V2 is equal to 460 angle of 0 degrees minus 10 angle of minus 36.86 into 4.1 angle of 67.8 degrees. So that is 460 plus J of 0 minus 41 angle of 30.94 angle. So that is equal to 460 plus J of 0 minus 35.165 plus J of 21.079. Here 424.8 minus J of 21.079, that is equal to 425.35 angle of minus 2.84 degrees. So here, in this today class we have learned how a real transformer with winding leakage is represented, and the transformation of magnetic leakage into equivalent reactance, the derivation of the formula to transfer reactance from one side to another side, and the representation of real transformer with both resistance both the representation of real transformer with both resistance and leakage reactances. And also we learn phasor diagrams at different power factors, and solved one problem. And in this also we have a few frequently asked questions like this: draw the vector diagrams of a transformer considering both winding resistance and leakage fluxes for the following loads, that is resistive load, inductive load and capacitive load. So what are the silent points observed in each case? And also second question like a 33 kVA 2200 by 220 volts 50 hertz single phase transformer has the following parameters like R1 is equal to 2.4 ohms, X1 is equal to 6 ohms, R2 is equal to 0.03 ohms, X2 is equal to 0.07 ohms. Find first question the primary resistance and leakage reactance refer to secondary, and find the secondary resistance and leakage reactance refer to primary. Find the equivalent resistance and leakage reactances refer to primary and secondary. And also we have a 33 kVA 2200 by 220 volts 50 hertz single phase transformer has the following parameters, that are R1 is equal to 2.4, X1 is equal to 6 ohms and R2 is equal to 0.03 ohm, X2 is equal to 0.07 ohm. Find the primary resistance and reactance refer to secondary, and find the secondary resistance and leakage reactance refer to primary. Find the equivalent resistance and reactance refer to primary. And also we have derived the relation for equivalent impedance of a transformer when refer to primary and refer to secondary. Explain with the neat sketches. What are the effects of winding leakage of the transformer? Explain the necessity of transferring impedances from one side of a transformer to other. So these are the few frequently asked questions, and in next class we will go for with the significance of air gap and equivalent circuit of a transformer, approximate or simplified equivalent circuit of a transformer, and approximate uh, approximate voltage drop in transformer, and also we have to learn about voltage regulation of a transformer and voltage regulations for unity, lagging and leading power factors. So and also we learned about the regulation of for lagging power factor and regulation for leading power factor, and regulation for unity power factor. And also we will find out about the percentage resistance, reactance and impedance drop. So in this, and also we learned about condition for zero regulation and condition for maximum regulations. And also we have the few problems about this, and also we learned about the transformer test, that will be now open circuit test and no load test, and also short circuit test or impedance test. So and also we have the few problems in based on the equivalent circuits, and also we will learn about the testing of transformers, that are the polarity test and Sumpner test, advantages and disadvantages about that one, and we have the Sumpner test and breakdown voltage test, procedure and purpose of the oil transformer. So these are the few topics for next class. So today this is the class we will go for in next class. Thank you.